The blood on my hands wasn't mine, and neither was the girl gasping for air in my passenger seat, but somehow I was the only one who could save her, and somehow, of all people, she was the one person in this world I had promised myself I would never speak to again. My name is Marcus Whitfield, and 3 years ago my fiancée Renata left me 2 weeks before our wedding. She didn't just leave quietly. She packed her things while I was at work, and the last person to see her before she vanished from my life was her best friend, Soraya Bellwether. I always believed Soraya knew everything, that she had helped plan the exit, that she had chosen loyalty to Renata over any decency toward me. So when Soraya disappeared from my life too, I told myself good riddance. I built walls so high that even mutual friends stopped mentioning her name around me. If you believe people deserve second chances, even the ones we've sworn off, hit that like button right now, drop a comment telling me you believe in kindness, share this with someone who needs a reminder that forgiveness is possible, and subscribe to the channel because this story is about to take you somewhere you won't expect. That Tuesday afternoon started like any other. I was leaving the pharmacy on 5th Street when I heard a crash behind the building, the kind of sound that makes your whole body go cold before your mind even catches up. A woman had collapsed against her car door, her face pale as paper, her lips tinged blue, a half-eaten sandwich still clutched in her trembling fingers. I recognized her instantly even through the panic. It was Soraya. Older, thinner, her dark hair longer than I remembered, but unmistakably her. I didn't think. I didn't remember the anger or the betrayal or the years of silence. I just saw a human being dying in front of me, and something ancient and instinctive took over. Her throat was closing, an allergic reaction from what I'd later learn was a walnut hidden in a bakery item she'd trusted. I grabbed her, screamed for someone to call an ambulance, and when the woman at the corner store said the nearest hospital was 11 minutes away and the ambulance would take at least 15, I made a decision I didn't have time to question. I lifted her into my car and drove like the world was ending, because for her, it very well might have been. Every red light felt like a personal insult from the universe. Her breathing turned into these awful, wet, rattling gasps, and at one point she grabbed my wrist so hard her nails broke skin, like she was trying to physically hold on to life through me. I kept talking to her, saying her name over and over, telling her to stay with me, though inside I was screaming prayers I hadn't said since childhood. When we finally skidded into the emergency bay, nurses swarmed the car before I'd even put it in park. They pulled her from my arms and rushed her through double doors that swallowed her whole, leaving me standing there in the harsh fluorescent light, my shirt soaked through with sweat and fear, my hands shaking uncontrollably. I don't know how long I sat in that waiting room. Time became meaningless, measured only in the beeping of distant monitors and the terrifying silence behind those doors. When a woman rushed in, breathless, clutching her purse like a lifeline, I recognized her immediately as Soraya's mother, Delphine, a woman who used to make me cinnamon rolls when I was 22 years old and hopelessly in love with her daughter's best friend, though at the time I mistook that feeling for simple friendship. She grabbed my arm, asking what happened, and I explained everything in broken, frantic sentences. A doctor finally emerged, delivering the words every person waiting in that room praised to hear, that Soraya was stable, that the reaction had been severe but caught in time, that another 10 minutes might have told a very different story. Delphine's knees nearly buckled with relief, and she turned to hug me, this near stranger who had appeared in her daughter's darkest moment. Then she looked at me properly, really looked, and her expression shifted into something I couldn't quite name. She asked my name, and when I told her, her eyes filled with tears that had nothing to do with the crisis we'd just survived. She said Soraya talked about a Marcus sometimes, late at night, when the wine loosened her tongue and the loneliness got too heavy to carry alone. She said her daughter never forgave herself for staying quiet all those years ago, for choosing what she thought was loyalty to a broken friendship over telling me the truth that might have changed everything, the truth that she had feelings for me even back then, feelings she buried so deep out of guilt that they nearly suffocated her too. Delphine held my face in her weathered hands and whispered, "So this is the one she talks about, the one who got away, the one she never stopped thinking about. If this story has touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who believes people can find their way back to each other. Your support means more than you know. They let me see her an hour later, still groggy, and 4 taped to her thin arm, but her eyes found mine immediately, and neither of us needed words for the ocean of unspoken things passing between us. Before we close this chapter, drop a comment below telling me one word that describes what you felt watching this story unfold. I read every single one and it truly means the world to me. Sometimes the people we exile from our hearts are exactly the people fate insists on bringing back, not through romance or coincidence, but through crisis, through nearly losing them, through discovering that some bonds refuse to die no matter how much silence we bury them under. Marcus and Soraya didn't fall in love that day in the hospital corridor. They simply remembered they never stopped.